If you love lemon, then you've got to give my lemon meringue bars a try. These are absolutely delicious, tart and sweet, but not too sweet. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to make them. Hello friends and welcome back. My name is Andrea, if you're new here, and this is Dessert First, where I show you how to make wonderful homemade desserts. A new video once a week, and then that last week of the month we'll throw in a savory dish. So today I am making my lemon meringue bars. And we love lemon in our house. Most of our friends and family all love lemon. So we're going to start with our shortbread crust. Then we'll make our lemon filling. And then to top it off, instead of the traditional dusting of powdered sugar, I'm going to top it with an Italian meringue. So let's get started with our. So I'm going to start off with 1 stick of melted butter. This is salted butter. You can use salted or unsalted. Either one is going to be just fine. So 1 stick of melted butter, and then to that I am going to add 1/2 cup of sugar, and we're just going to mix that in there. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. And then we're also going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So if you use salted butter, the 1/4 teaspoon is still going to be fine. You don't have to change that at all. So we're just going to kind of mix that in as best we can. You could use a stand mixer for this, but it's so easy. I didn't want to dirty up the big mixing bowl and the paddle, so it's just easy enough to make it just using a bowl and a wooden spoon. So, all right. And then to this, we're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour plus 2 tablespoons. So we're just going to mix that in. And you do not need to sift the flour for this, so unless your flour is super, super lumpy, but you should be fine without sifting. Just kind of work the flour off the sides of the bowl to get it mixed in there. All right, and yes, it's going to look kind of odd, a little bit like a cookie, like a really loose cookie dough is really what it kind of looks like. So, but that is good there. Now I have a 9x9 baking pan here, and I just took a sheet of parchment paper and cut it in half. So I'm just going to fit one in this way. Just kind of try to even it. And try to crease that a bit on the side. And then the other one I'm going to fit this way. And the reason I've done this is so that I can pull my bars out of the pan so I can cut them. If you don't, you may wind up having to cut them in your pan, And then you could wind up scratching or even pushing too hard and making some divots in your pan. So this just makes it nice and easy to get out of there. So we're just going to take our shortbread dough here and just dump it into the pan here. And then I'm just going to kind of work it here a little bit, and it's going to kind of slip and slide around. So we're just going to try to kind of get it even. Once I can see that it's fairly even all the way, then I can just use like the bottom of my and just kind of smash it. You don't have to press super hard, not like a graham cracker or a cookie crust, but this just kind of helps to level it a bit. So just kind of press it in there. You may have a couple of spots that maybe is a little out of level, but it's okay. All right, so we're going to bake this in the oven for about 22 minutes at 325 degrees. I've already got my oven preheated. And then once that's done, we'll get started on the lemon filling. Okay, so our crust, shortbread crust, is done for the lemon bars. It baked for 22 minutes, and then when it came out, I just took a fork and just docked it. But you don't want to go all the way through the dough and hit the pan, so just go about halfway and just kind of do that all over it. That will help give the lemon filling a little bit of something to grab a hold of and keep it from going all the way through the pan. So we'll set that aside, and now we're going to make the filling. So I've got 1.5 cups of granulated sugar in the bowl here, and then I've got 4.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I'm just going to dump that in, and we're just going to mix this up. You could sift this together if you wanted to. This is going to work just fine though, just to kind of give it a good whisk. There we go. And then I've got 4 whole eggs, so we're just going to dump that in. And get it mixed up. And then I've got 3/4 of a cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. So that was about 4.5 lemons. It's really going to depend on the size of your lemons and just how juicy they are. So I would buy 5 or 6 just to make sure that you had enough. And then we're just going to mix that in. And you don't need a hand mixer for this. It would really splash it out. So just whisk it in. Just like that. And now we're just going to pour that into our pan. And then I've still got the oven at 325 degrees, which was what we baked our shortbread crust at. So we'll bake our filling at the same temp. And it's going to go for 22 to 26 minutes. It might even go a bit more because this is a little thicker than what I had made before, just because I wanted it thicker. So it may take it closer to 30. Started on the Italian meringue. So this is a cooked meringue. Let me get my thermometer here. So in the saucepan here on the stove, I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of water and 1 cup of sugar. And then I'm just going to give that a little bit of a whisk just to get it mixed in. And then I'm going to turn the fire on. I'm just going to turn it on medium. And then while that's coming up, I have got 4 egg whites. So I actually had 2 egg whites from something else, and then just some bought carton egg whites. So a total of 4 egg whites. I'm going to put that into our mixer, and then a pinch of salt, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and then we're just going to start mixing. So you want to do both of these steps at the same time because this needs to be whipped and ready to take the hot syrup when it gets to the right temperature. So if you do them both at the same time, they'll come out just right. Okay, so we're just wanting our egg whites to start getting frothy, which they are. So I'm going to take 1/3 of a cup of sugar, and I'm just going to slowly start adding that. Now that that's mixed up, I'm going to turn this on high. I'm also going to check my sugar mixture. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, that's a soft peak. So we are good. We are close on our syrup. We're looking for a temperature of 240 degrees. So if you have a candy thermometer, you can use that. I don't have a candy thermometer, so I am using my Biotherm. And my Biotherm only goes to 220, so I'll back it on around to 0 to get to that 240. All right, so we are at 240. So we're going to have this on kind of a low tip. And very carefully we are going to add this hot syrup into it. half a teaspoon of vanilla. Let's see where we're at. It's still super warm. It's got fairly firm peaks, but we're going to go a little bit longer. We really need it to be cooling down, so I've actually got a bag of frozen veggies against the side of the bowl to try to help cool it down. Alright, let's see where we're at now. Okay. That's pretty firm, so we're going to call that good. I like this because it's very marshmallowy like, except not as sweet as marshmallow. All right, so I'm just going to let this sit and continue to rest and cool a little bit. Our lemon bars are still in the oven cooking, so they've still got, well, actually, it's about time to check them, so let's see how they look. Oh yeah, since I made extra of that filling, it's going to have to go for quite a while longer, so we're going to give it 10 more minutes. So anyway, we'll check back when they're done. All right, so the lemon bars baked, and I did have to bake them for about 12 minutes more just because I had made the filling thicker, so it just took longer to bake. So about 36 to 40 minutes, but you can see how it's kind of cracked on the top, so it's done. I put it, after it cooled down for about 15 minutes, I sat it in the refrigerator just to try to chill down a little bit more. So I pulled it out of the pan, and they're still really gooey. They really need to stay in the fridge even longer, but we're going to go ahead and attempt to cut these in half. They probably just need to chill longer. Because they're super gooey and soft. Yeah, they really need to chill longer. Probably a couple of hours longer, actually. So I just cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut these. Let's kind of make a mark here. So if I can get 5, so let's do that. Yep, these really need to chill a lot longer. Okay, so let's see if we can actually get these off of here. And you can kind of see how thick the crust is, which is not super thick, it's just the right amount. And the filling is just a lot thicker. Because when I made them before, it wasn't very thick, so you just didn't get a lot of lemony goodness on there. So let's see. And I'm just putting these onto a sheet tray, giving them a little bit of space. So my Italian meringue, I just put some in a piping bag here, and we're just going to play around with this a little bit. So a lot of different ways you could do this. I think those look kind of pretty. So just kind of make some swirls. Just do like 3. You could even do, I don't know if you could see this, just kind of something like that. Let's do another one like that. That gives you a lot of meringue. That actually looks kind of cool. And I will tell you, this meringue is really sticky to work with. Very much like a marshmallow cream. So we're just gonna try to load this piping bag. Uh-oh. You probably heard that. That's little Dottie out there. She's out on the back porch. If you don't know who Dot is, check out the puppy treats that I made video. And Dot's at the beginning and in the end part, so. Okay. And we just need a little bit more. And if you didn't want to pipe these on, you could totally just take some with your spatula and just kind of work it on. And you could actually cut these into squares so and get like 6 out of the pan. They would be big servings, but you could do that as well. I would just, if you're going to do meringue, I would cut them whatever size you want first and then add the meringue. That way you're not cutting through the meringue. So you could do something and then just try and make some. It's pretty sticky at this point. So anyway, and we've got some meringue left, not too much. All right, so I'm going to get my torch so I can toast this like you would a lemon meringue pie. You could put this into your oven with a broiler on so that it could toast it. You could put it in a toaster oven that has a broiler setting. I'm going to actually use a torch and just torch them. So hold on just a second. Okay, so we are going to torch this. See if we can get it. There we go. There we go. Sure like that. You're shaking it. Alright. Put this around to get this side a little bit. There we go. So we're just going to plate a few of these up so you can see maybe one of these. I don't know which one I like the looks of better because, well, maybe not this one so much, but the rest of them I think look really cute. So let's grab a plate, and you're going to want to just put these into the fridge for several hours just so that they can really firm up. So let's try one of these. And one of these. There we go. And there you go. And there you have my lemon meringue bars. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this and want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like it, share it, comment below if you have any questions or comments, and I will be sure to respond to you. Thanks. We'll see you again.